What's up YouTube and fellow C6 owners? In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to install a bracketeer fire extinguisher mount in your C6. And I know some of you guys track your cars, drift, road racing, all that type of stuff. For my C6, I'm kind of just building it to do basically the same thing, not drift, but basically do the same thing. If you guys don't know that, if you go on YouTube and try to look up fire extinguisher videos, there are not that many videos going based off of how to install a fire extinguisher mount bracket in your C6. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So basically, here is what I bought. I have a few boxes here, a few different products. I'm kind of mixing and matching, and I'm really hoping this thing works out. But of course, the first thing is going to be the bracketeer mount. So it's this thing right here. If I can get it open with one hand and toss it. Boom. Okay, kind of. It comes with like all the hardware that you need and a manual. I kind of already know what to do. I've installed this on my 240SX, so I'm gonna try my best to kind of replicate that. In here, you actually get the mounts themselves. These are the mounts. These are all the pieces you're going to be playing with in order to make it fit on the passenger side. And then in here, this box is this sort of mount right here. And then my friend gave me this fire extinguisher. It's on the smaller end. We're going to switch to a bigger one, but we're going to use that for now. And this comes with like different clamp sizes and stuff. And what's nice about this one, yeah, everything's flying away. What's nice about it, if I can get this freaking out. Okay, it's basically like a quick release system. So the extinguisher basically kind of like fits like that, and then you could pull this pin and then release the extinguisher like super fast, and then in case of a fire, boom, like you can be quick with it, you know, God forbid. But yeah, God forbid you ever have to use any of these things, but I'm doing it because I just want that sense of security, and a lot of tracks will not let you on the racetrack without a fire extinguisher. So I'm gonna go install this. Another thing I want to mention, I got everything off of Amazon. So everything you can buy from Amazon, and all of these kits come with all the tools that you need. So you don't need anything else but these tools that it come with. However, you do need the tools to remove the nuts on your seat bracket. My bad, I did forget to mention, for this to work, you're gonna have to modify your passenger seat thing. This I did at my friend's house, and I just put 2 notches. You'll see when I open the passenger seat, this will essentially allow the seat bracket to, you know, it's gonna be like a bar. So it's go from one bolt to the other bolt on the front passenger seat, and then this I just cut out just for the clearance. Yeah. Or you could just remove it, but I kind of want to keep it a little bit clean looking, so I just kind of did something there. If these don't fit, because I literally cut them and I just haven't tested them at all, I'm pretty much just gonna just run it without it until I get these cut to the point where they fit. Anyways, now continuing with the actual install itself. I have everything set up. It's a little windy, but I have everything set up here. All the brackets, the fire extinguisher, and this fits, what size is this? 15mm wrench fits those bolts. And then you could see where the clips kind of slide into that little hole, kind of just meets in there. So I did this once before. So first off, we're going to start off with the actual bracket itself. And in order to get to the bracket, I literally have to remove those 2 bolts, make it. And yeah, I know I have to vacuum before you guys. Could this be a 14 mil? I mean, hold on. Is this a 14 mil? I mean, seems fine. Into it, but nothing crazy. Also, make sure your seat is all the way back when you do this. Mine's is, so we're good. Okay, it's at a loose state. Let's take it off by hand. Boom. Super fast with it. All right, and now I'm gonna get, this will go in the middle. This piece, let me just zoom out. This will go in the middle. So we'll put that over there. Okay, so essentially, this is the layout over here. That's the layout over here. Essentially, you're just gonna put these in like that on this side too, and then just put that here and just measure on where you think you want your fire extinguisher. So this is something we have. It comes with hardware. We're going to use the hardware and just tighten these up over here so this doesn't move left or right. I'm going to have mine biased to the driver's seat, so in case anything happens, it'll be closer to me on the driver's seat, so I can pull that tab really quick. But you can have it however you want, but ideally you want it pretty close to you. But in this case, I guess they kind of designed it to, you know, to suit you however you need. Anyways, so yeah, that's essentially, you're just taking a little measurement right there, and then you're just gonna start tightening things down. This bracket, and figure out how this is essentially gonna fit like that. So the 2 bolts here, these go here, is essentially the idea. So I'm gonna first tighten this bracket down. And of course, don't forget to measure out your fire extinguisher itself. I think I might mount it something like this, or something like that. But ideally you want the gauge outwards, so probably gonna mount it like this. I got these just hand tight in. But before I tighten these, I realized I do have to actually bolt those down. But I made it biased so I can slide this as that way as much as possible if I have to. There's 3 holes to pick from, so you can kind of bias it to however you need it. And then I'm gonna grab these bolts, which are kind of crusty for some reason, because I don't know how these bolts got rusty at all. This car only has 30,000 miles. It's heavily modified now, so sorry to you boomers. I know you guys probably hate that I'm doing this right now. No, it's not garage kept either. No, no, no. Okay, tighten this up. Just like, we got to go too crazy. Just like a quick. So this, you just get it. You don't want to overdo these bolts either, because they are connected to freaking wood. So I just give it like a nice little arm tight, but not pushing it at all whatsoever. And yeah, this is pretty much what it should look like. Probably gonna adjust this over here to line it up there. Okay, once those bolts are tightened, you can go ahead and tighten the actual bracket down. Nice little tightening. That's solid. That is legit going nowhere. That's basically what it should look like, just like that. And now to put those things on, and then I'm gonna try to figure this part out. It gets a little complicated here, so, but I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, this either goes like this, or it could go like that. It really doesn't matter, I believe. But I think I'm gonna do something like this. Slip these under. I think I'm gonna do something like this. Slip these under. These are also threaded, so you could just, you know, screw it right on, and then do something like that, and then have the extinguisher kind of chill like that. So that's kind of where I'm at. All right, guys. All right, so this is what we came up with. Boom. So I actually ended up moving this down, and then mounting this up, tightening these pretty snug, and tightened all these, tightened everything, and this is kind of how the setup is going to look. I went one hole away, so this way I have a little bit more clearance here. Last thing I got to do is actually put the clamps on that. It's going to mount something like this, and then boom, we'll have a fire extinguisher thing done. But if you guys want to copy exactly what I did here, you can. Also gonna test this out. Hopefully the trim fits into place. It's looking like it is. Actually, it's not too bad. I gotta like push the shit down, like try to make it as clean as possible. We're gonna figure this out. Actually, you gotta like push down as hard as you can on these and just like force them back. And then how these come out is this little push pin. So we'll put that in there. My thing doesn't zoom in. Yeah, so you basically push this down, compress it, and just kind of push back. That's that, and then this is the push pin. Boom. Lock it into place. That's it. That's one side done. And then we'll get the other push pin. And same way you release it, you remove the push pin, and then you pull it out that way. Put this in here. Boom. That's it. Look at that. Super clean. Okay, maybe not the cleanest, but it looks pretty good. I cannot lie. And I'm sorry about the noise. There's a lot of stuff going on. But look at that. If it wants to focus. Literally not bad at all. Kind of looks OEM, kind of doesn't. Whatever, we got it done. It's cool. Okay, so this is like the last part of it. I chose to just do this inside. I'm just going to show you real quick on how to connect the fire extinguisher into this like quick release system, the second part of it that you actually pull out. It's essentially going to be connected to the fire extinguisher all the time. I'll show you guys how it works afterwards, but yeah, I'm just going to do this inside and I'll just do like a little time lapse of how I do everything. Okay, so before I continue, essentially you're going to have the bracket. Just be mindful of where the notch is. I don't know if you can see where that notch is. That's essentially how it's going to come up and out. So this is where the push pin thingy is, right? As we install the bracket on my car, that we saw that the pin actually is on more to the right side bias, hence why I had to kind of move the whole contraption down. And then we'll tighten it at the end once we position the actual extinguisher, but just be mindful where the hole is and where it notches out. And then you have two clamps, and then you have these, I don't know, insulator thingies that go around these clamps to kind of protect the paint on the actual fire extinguisher itself. So I'm just gonna assemble this real quick. Should be pretty simple. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I'm gonna do it for you guys anyway, because why not just make it easier? Okay, so this is how I have it, just something like that. I left these loose because I'm probably going to be sliding this back and forth when I put it on, and then when I'm done, I'm going to tighten these up. And then as you can see, these sharp like edges kind of like stick out, so you probably want those to be kind of hidden. So maybe I might switch up the positioning of the clamp and probably put them under here. So this way, none of this actually protrudes out in front of the passenger seat. But yeah, this is basically what the contraption should look like, and we're going to put it in the car. Okay, so Also, just a quick side note, it does come with bigger clamps for bigger extinguishers. Do not throw these out. It comes with extra insulation too. I highly recommend you do up the size on this. I'll be upping the size on mine, but for now, we're just gonna work with what we have. But now you basically just connect this, right? So it's gonna go in something like this. I'm running into an issue where this doesn't want to connect here. That's no problem. We had these loose. We're just gonna adjust the positioning of this extinguisher so it actually works out. I adjusted it quite a bit that way. It still rotates and stuff, so you just kind of figure out where you want it. Some people like it like this, some people like it like that. Ideally you want this showing, and then you want, you know, this not blocked off by the clamp. Of course, if they do tech, they're probably going to remove it and inspect that it is, you know, whatever ABC that it is. This, it has this tag, it's not removed. Some racetracks do it. Hopefully you know, you won't have an issue with this setup. And yeah, it's not, I don't know what they did, it's not metal, but it's solid. They're going to give it a nice like shake as well, depending on what track you go to. It's a pretty serious thing, fire hazards and this and that. So yeah, also I'm going to be rotating these to have these away from any frontal area, and I'm just going to tighten it down. This is the final result of me adjusting the clamps. As you can see, I made it so the rubber thing is mainly on the extinguisher, and I put these clamps as low as possible, and I'll show you how this is going to fit. So essentially that notch might be hold on, this might be upside down. See, that just kind of goes in there all the way. Boom, that's solid. That's not going anywhere. The notch is in here, the pin is here, and that's basically the final result of the fire extinguisher. God forbid, case of emergency, just boom, really quick, and then pull the pin, take out whatever fire you need to. But yeah, that's basically everything, and this is probably the easiest. I don't know if it's the cheapest way. It did cost me like $100-some, but it's probably the easiest, best way to install a fire extinguisher without getting like a specialized bracket. Of course, if you can get a specialized bracket for your car, do so, but I find this method to be really easy for the cars that I've installed this on. I saw this on 2 Nissans, and this would be the 3rd car. That looks way dustier with the iPhone light. Yeah, the lighting sucks, so I'm gonna just use my phone. This is the final result of the fire extinguisher. I also want to note that if you do run floor mats, you may have to cut it to conform to your car. As you see, I cut it there, but that's okay. So yeah, just, you know, cut around the bracket. I found that the handles of those were kind of touching against the rubber mat, so I did adjust this one last time. I kind of just tilted it this way, just like 5 degrees, tying the clamps back up, and now everything works out perfectly. All right, I'm gonna put this on and show you guys how that will work. Do I put in and pull this thing out too? Essentially go like that. Make sure the hook is in place. Drop that in. Okay, I'm like, what the hell? Oh yeah, so as you can see, if I pull it from here, it doesn't move. Pull it, it doesn't move. God forbid something happens, you just boom, take it out. Simple as that. That's basically it. It's a very cool design. Like I said, you can cut these out to kind of like fit everything. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That is how you install a, yeah, and we are, and boom, we are done. I really hope you guys, and just look at that thing. It is sick. Quick mechanism, keeping your car safe. This should pass tech inspection and everything should check out. If not, do your own thing, do your own design. If you want to get the custom ones that are made for the car, which I suggest, go with that route too. I like this system. yeah, and that's basically how you install a fire extinguisher on a C6 Corvette. Wow, that is some serious light. Anyways, just ignore the light. That's basically it. It's pretty simple. Hopefully this helps some of you guys. I know there's not a lot of there's not a lot of videos out there that explain how to do this. By the way, I do live in New York City, so it is pretty populated out here. So yeah, anyways, I know when I was looking online, I literally could not find anything on how to install any fire extinguisher. Anyone who's, you know, into building cars and stuff, this is second nature to them. But for those who don't know and that you want it in your C6 Corvette, this is the video to watch. Very simple, very easy, very straightforward, and I hope you guys enjoy your setup if you do go with this route. Everything is on Amazon, and I'm not affiliated with any of these companies, but I do enjoy their products. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video, and hopefully we'll get this thing to run some times, run some lap times. Anyways, peace out, guys.